Welcome back to bravesbirdsdfs, one of the best places for PGA, NFL, MLB, and NBA news, and of course DFS. If you don't know by now, I'm Walt. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. Man, I'm starting to get hyped now. It is almost time for March Madness. And I mean, March Madness just brings back so many memories because if you're around my age or older, you remember actually printing out brackets, probably at work. Some of the pools you had at work were just the free pools where you played with everybody, but you actually had some real pools, and doing the actual draft. This is before DraftKings or FanDuel or any of that kind of stuff existed. I mean, we had fantasy, basketball and things, but actually having all of those brackets and trying to determine, how much of your hard-earned money, you were going to put towards these brackets, and just having all of these conversations, and then at lunch, just doing the draft at lunch and picking the teams that you were going to pick, and then just trying to decide, am I going to be a homer and pick the teams that you like? Am I going to pick SEC teams or ACC teams or Big Ten teams or whatever kind of bias you had? Because it was just so fun. I mean, and it's still fun now because after you had those years, then we did start doing some things online. So we would have this situation where a person would host a web page and we would do the picks online. And yes, that was fun, but it wasn't as fun as in person, eating lunch right there with all your brackets and drinking, and trying to get those brackets filled out. And then obviously nowadays, I mean, everything is online. You have so many online services and way to do it. So it feels a little different, but it's still fun. And the thing about it is still better than the NBA. And I was just racking my brain. I was just sitting here thinking, what makes March Madness better than the NBA? And I had a lot of theories, and I was just going through all of them. And I was like, no, that doesn't necessarily, make sense. And I really just figured out what makes March Madness, really college basketball and obviously college football, even though college football is not, in most places, college football isn't as big as the NBA. I know in some places, depending on, your NFL team and what state you're in, your college football teams are bigger than NFL. But in general, college football is never bigger than the NFL. But it really hit me why March Madness is so great. And what it boils down to is less than 1% of us, and we'll say less than 1% of us have made it to the NBA. But at least half the country, has gone to college. And depending on where you live, that percentage is much higher. Now, look, I didn't say graduate because now half the country has not graduated from college. I didn't say that. But I would say, especially in younger cohorts, and depending on where you live and the industry that you're in, the majority of people at least spent a semester, or a year before you got on probation and something happened, academic probation, and then something happened and you didn't graduate, or you graduated. So I think that's really the magic sauce of March Madness, what makes it better than the NBA. Like, it just brings you back. You can cheer for the college or colleges. Some of us went to, undergrad and grad school. So you kind of rooting for two teams, or you pick the team that's doing the best this year. Or maybe you went to one school for your first 2 years and you went to another school. But like, I really think that element that the NBA is missing that college has is we have a personal connection to our colleges. And now check it out. We have a personal connection to our professional teams as well. The majority of us, but check it out, the majority of us, when it comes to our professional teams, that's based on where we were born. And none of us got to pick where we were born. I'm one of the biggest Braves, Falcons, Hawks fans around. I just was born into it. But what makes that college, that March Madness and that college, fanaticism. Is that a word? I don't know. But what makes us go crazy for March Madness and college sports are we got to pick the college we went to. You know what I'm saying? 99% of, I mean, maybe 1% of y'all listen to your parents, but 99% of us got to pick the college that we attended. So when we're doing this March Madness, it's not just, abstract, or we're just picking a favorite player like we do when it comes to professional sports. This is representing us and where we're from, and it's fun, and it's a lot better than college football. We know college football, because of so many reasons, they can't do this. It's so few games, too many injuries. So this is really unique. So I'm really looking forward to this season. This college, this March Madness, cycle that we're about to get into. I'm a Mississippi State Bulldog. We have a terrible history, terrible. We've never won a championship. I think we got to the Final Four back when I was 15, back in the 90s. Never. I mean, I don't. Have we ever made it to the Sweet 16? I don't know. We're not good. Our girls have made it to the national championship, but our boys have never really been good. But you know what? I'm gonna be a homer, and in some of my brackets, I know good and well Mississippi State's gonna lose in the first or second round. But I'm gonna put my Bulldogs in my bracket, and I know you're gonna put your team in yours. So let me know your thoughts, leave some comments, and otherwise go out there and enjoy yourself, and I'll talk to you next time.